Hi Tarot Loves, it's Ethany, and I am here to talk to you today about taking a break from your tarot practice. And more than that, answering the question, is it okay to take a break from your tarot practice? So, as with everything that I share, before I jump in, please take what resonates with you and simply leave the rest. It is okay that we all have different opinions and different practices. That's what makes life interesting and our community diverse and awesome. So with that, like many tarot readers, I am more than a little obsessed with these 78 cards. There are literally, let me just take decks everywhere. And this is just one tiny little section of my house or my apartment. Tarot plays a huge role in my life. There aren't many days at all, even on my off times, my vacation and my downtime, when I don't pick up my cards. And since I read the tarot for myself and my clients, it's not only a personal practice, but also my profession. And my home, as I showed you very briefly, is bursting at the seams with tarot decks, and that is the way I like it. Still, there has been time over the 20 plus years, getting old, of working with the cards, that I have taken breaks. And this may also happen to you. You may find that there are times you don't feel the pull to pick up your cards and work with them. And I'm here to tell you it's totally normal and totally fine. Modern life is busy, and there is nothing wrong with making sure that you are taking care of your responsibilities. Career, family, home, and the people you care about and who rely on you are important for living a good life. Not to mention taking care of yourself. You are going to get sick at some point. It's, being human. Or you may be mentally or spiritually exhausted or just uninspired. Sometimes you just need a break. While there are many tarot practices that can assist with your healing, you should feel no shame if you don't feel the call to use them. Many of us don't even realize that we are tapped dry until it's too late. Giving yourself the gift of deep rest and being gentle with yourself during these times is really important, and there is no use to pressure yourself to use the tarot. As a matter of fact, there's no need, there's nothing good that can come out of pressuring yourself to do any spiritual practice or any creative practice or any practice around who you are or what you enjoy. All that does is create a cycle of stress and anxiety. There are also times in your life you'll find where you are inspired to work with something else for a while. That's cool too. Don't let social media filters or people's opinions make you feel inadequate or like you aren't being spiritual. Just because a whole bunch of people are doing amazing challenges and posting beautiful photos on their Instagram or sharing a lot on their Facebook doesn't mean you have to keep up. That is utter rubbish. You do you authentically. Now that brings me to one of my points in this big beautiful video. Spiritual shaming is bullshit, and I do not like it at all. Know this, people are always going to share the best of themselves and the stuff that they feel is going to get a lot of likes on their Instagram accounts, on their Facebook and stuff like that. Now, of course, authenticity does play a massive part of a lot of people sharing and their experiences on their social media accounts, but there is a reason why certain people are popular. I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to go into what makes something popular or authenticity versus marketing, or it being an authentic marketing thing, or the fact that there's now a witch aesthetic that is massive on these social media platforms. That's not what I'm here to talk about, but I do recognize that it is a thing. Pretty pictures though, and likes and hearts and comments and subscribers are not what makes you a spiritual person. Spiritual quotes on social media accounts aren't what make you a spiritual person. You choose your spiritual practice however it looks. If you choose to work with a different cartomancy system for a while, like Lenormand or Kipper, or you want to pick up the runes for a while, all of this adds to your spiritual path and knowledge about the world and yourself. At the end of the day, you can bring your spirituality to anything that you do. And that's really what's important. You can spiritually make a meal for the people that you love. You can spiritually create a painting or a bracelet. You can spiritually and mindfully go for a walk in nature. Every little love in the everyday things can be turned into a spiritual practice. It doesn't have to fit anybody else's mold. Not only that, it's probably one of the most counter-spiritual things you can do in life, making somebody else feel bad to make yourself feel good. If anyone tries to make you feel bad about your current journey, your life, what you're doing to take care of yourself and others, or where you're at spiritually, whether it's tarot, yoga, witchcraft, or anything else, it isn't worth your time and energy. That's their shit, not yours. Leave them to the crappy vibes and move forward. I know it is much easier said than done. I'm coming at this from past experience where people have tried to spiritually shame me. But remember, that is them putting something on you. You don't need to accept it. And just practicing it by saying, in your mind, when you feel as though someone might be getting on your grill a little bit, you say, that's theirs, not mine. I do not accept what is not mine to take. Is a massive way to start to reclaim your power. Even if you don't 100% believe it the first time you do it, the more and more you do it, the better it's going to get. There we go. It's just like practicing anything. So to close out my little rant and my blog post and video this week, I'm going to give you 4 ideas to help you get back into the tarot after a break. So when you feel as though you're ready to pick up the cards again, it can be helpful to keep it simple and focus on one thing at a time. But here are some ideas for you. Just, pick one and see if it goes. It kind of reinvigorates you to enter back into the tarot world. The first one, and I love this one myself. I was actually going to do this on the weekend, but I ran out of time. Enjoy your collection. I love, this is such a dorky, tarot nerdy thing for me to do. But I love getting my decks out and going through them once in a while. It is so nice to look through your cards because they are miniature art galleries after all. And remember some of your favorite decks. A lot of us are always on the lookout for a new deck, but it is just as important to enjoy the ones you have and get reacquainted with old tarot friends. One of my favorite things to do is to put on my slippers, if any of those who didn't know what I meant about slippies, my slippy slips, get a really good cup of tea. If I'm feeling a little indulgent, maybe some chockies as well, because there's nothing better than a hot drink and chocolate. And then grab a box of my tarot or some of my decks and stick on something like Charmed or Buffy or Practical Magic. One of my favorite, Sabrina, the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is out on Netflix. Putting on something soup dupe witchy and watching that while I go through my decks. It's like one of my soul food practices. So if anyone wants to come and do that at my house at some point and just enjoy the vibes, it's so much fun. The second thing is to look at new decks. So working with a new tarot deck, especially a deck that has a different imagery than you're used to, can really help jumpstart your intuition and spark learning new aspects of tarot. So I have a few decks that are maybe more Thoth based or are more Marseille. I've got quite a few pip decks that I haven't picked up in a while. So if I'm feeling in a funk, I might go and get the Star Tarot by Celia and kind of go through it because it's got different, not every card is the same, or the Illuminated Tarot or something a little bit different, the Next World Tarot, something like that to kind of jumpstart my vibes. Number 3, find your fellow tarot people. Go to an in-person tarot meetup in your local city. There are so many tarot meetups all over the world, and meeting new people that love the tarot is a great way to make friends. It's also easy to talk to someone about the tarot and also fun to talk to someone about the tarot because they are into it as much as you are. You don't have to like explain why you're into like these 78 cards or what does it all mean. You're all there with a common thread that matches you all together. Now, if you can't make one, join a hangout. There are quite a few of us who do hangouts, and we have virtual groups or virtual hangouts for people. That's a great way to connect, especially if you live in a smaller area. Number 4, join a tarot social media challenge. There are tarot social media challenges everywhere online. Instagram has great photo challenges. The Lionhearts does one every month. YouTube has some awesome tarot video challenges. You can do a reply video or a reply response to some of the threads that go on. There are some great ones like 5 deep tarot questions and things like that. And there are tons and tons of Facebook groups. I host one, well, I admin one. So remember, it's not just in person, but online as well. If you do participate, remember to be gentle with yourself and don't, rush into everything, or don't get hard on yourself. Again, if you find that you don't complete a challenge, or if you miss a day or two, remember to give yourself some grace, hot stuff. It's very important. So I'm going to just finish off with a small little note about self-care and boundaries. These are pillars of your spiritual practice, and they are just as important as working with your spiritual tools. You are enough. Your tarot practice is enough. Your work with the tarot will change and evolve as you do. You do not have to use the tarot cards every day. Having a break will allow yourself some new experiences and a renewed perspective, which can only add to your tarot practice. Your decks will be there, as always, after you come back from a break. So my lovelies, that is my thoughts on taking a break from tarot, a little bit on spiritual shaming, and what you can do to get back if you fall off the tarot horse. There are knights in the tarot after all, and they all are riding on horses. What do you think? Did I miss anything? Have you had an experience where you felt like you have been spiritually shamed for not doing your spiritual work the same way somebody else has? I would love to hear your experiences below. I honestly hope you haven't, because as I said, I think it's a pretty shitty thing to do. And as always, thank you so very much for stopping by and watching.